Okay, so you found that special someone. You're alone, all alone, and you're locked in a passionate moment. Are you going to go all the way or not? Each one of you has a decision to make about that. Are you going to choose abstinence until marriage? Because I've spent many years talking to teenagers and counseling them over this subject of purity, I feel that I'm qualified to speak to you about abstinence. My purpose today is to show you why teenagers should choose abstinence until marriage. And I will show you why abstinence until marriage is the best choice for teenagers to avoid sexually transmitted diseases, an unwanted pregnancy, and the emotional scars. Sexually transmitted diseases are more than just an embarrassment. They can become a serious health issue if they go untreated. And they can even cause things such as infertility and even death in the cases of HIV and AIDS. According to kidshealth.org, the younger a person is when they start having sex, the greater they are at risk for catching an STD. STDs can be spread easily because a lot of times you don't know the other person has them. There is also the misconception that the only way to get an STD is to actually have sex. But there are some STDs that you can actually catch just by skin-to-skin contact. A survey shows that 4 in every teen girls actually have an STD. Statistics on NPR.org say that 25% of all teenagers have an STD, 50% among black teenage girls. Abstinence requires no barriers, no pills, because the person is not having sex. Not only is there a concern of contracting sexually transmitted diseases, but there's also the risk of becoming pregnant. PregnantTeenHealth.org tells us that every year 750,000 teenagers become pregnant. Teenage mothers are more likely to drop out of high school, and only about a third will actually obtain their high school diploma. Teen pregnancies are also associated with a greater risk of alcohol and drug abuse, a lower educational level, and reduced earning potential for the fathers. 80% of teen mothers will end up on some sort of welfare. According to Women's Health Channel, children born to teen mothers are less likely to receive the proper nutrition, the proper health care, proper cognitive and social stimulation, and as a result, they're at a risk for a lower academic achievement. Children born to teenage mothers are at a great risk of abuse and neglect. Boys that are born to teen mothers are 13% more likely to be incarcerated later in their life. Girls that are born to teen mothers are 22% more likely to actually become teenage mothers themselves. In a Fox News report, I learned that Mississippi has the greatest percentage of teen pregnancies. Abstinence is the only method to prevent pregnancy that is 100% effective. The concern for getting a sexually transmitted disease and becoming pregnant should be reason enough for you to choose abstinence until marriage. But there is one other concern that is often overlooked, and that's the emotional scars that come from not choosing abstinence until marriage. The emotional scars of teens having premarital sex are quite painful. The severe consequences are psychological. The guilt that occurs is so acute that many teens turn to drugs, alcohol, and some even to suicide for relief. Guilt has long-term effect on future relationships and can haunt a person. There's often a feeling of disappointment and regret over the lost virginity. Many have said, "I just wish I'd waited." God knew that his people would have regret, so he had a way to protect them. He reserved intercourse for marriage. In Hebrews 13:4, it says, "Marriage should be honored to all, and the marriage bed kept pure." Parents have a responsibility to teach their kids to wait. In the book, Your Kid's at Risk, the author points out that teens who have sex are just playing with fire. Their bodies nor their minds are ready for the risk involved. Teenagers are capable of controlling their behavior. Parents teach their kids don't smoke, so they should teach their kids don't have sex. In Galatians 5:16 it says, "So I say, live by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the sinful nature." Abstinence is a lifestyle that will bring you freedom, respect, peace, and even romance without regret. It frees a couple up from their selfish attitudes of using each other as objects and makes you capable of love. There's no better way for a teenager to protect themselves from all the dangers surrounding sex except to leave sex for marriage. Waiting as God commands gives peace of mind. We don't experience the stress of worrying about an unwanted pregnancy, contracting an STD, or even the long-term emotional scars from it. Not only have I spent many years counseling and sharing with young people about this situation and this subject, I have actually lived it. I'm an adult that chose the other life as a teenager. I did not choose abstinence, and I've had to endure many years from that one decision, a lot of pain. I've shown you as a teenager that you should choose abstinence until marriage because it's the best choice to avoid an STD, pregnancy, or the emotional scars. You each have a decision to make about your own purity. What will you choose? Will you choose abstinence until marriage, or will you take the risk? In closing, I would like to tell you a story about Mary. Mary is a junior in high school, and she's a virgin. She has decided that she will wait until she is married before she has sex. All of her friends are not virgins, and they harass her often. One day, Mary is so frustrated, she looks at them and says, "You know what? At any moment, I can become just like you, but you can never become just like me." Think about it.